This story comes from a forgotten place, a building left to rot in the heart of the city. For years it stood silent, an empty shell of broken windows and peeling paint. But those who dared to enter spoke of a presence that never left, a shadow that didn't belong to anything human. They say it started years ago when a tenant vanished without a trace. No police reports, no searches, just whispers of an unmarked door that appeared under the stairwell. Some claimed they saw it. Others insisted it was never there. But what everyone agreed on was this: once you saw it, you were never the same again. One night, a man named Eric, curious and reckless, decided to investigate. He live-streamed his venture, stepping into the decaying structure with nothing but a flashlight. As he wandered deeper, his signal faltered. The last thing his viewers saw before the screen went black was Eric staring at something off-camera, his face frozen in terror. Days later, search teams found his phone but no sign of Eric. The footage was intact, though, and it revealed something chilling. When the video was slowed down, frame by frame, the door beneath the stairwell wasn't just there, it opened. And behind it, a pair of glowing eyes staring straight at the camera. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claimed it was a gateway to another realm, others a home for something ancient and malevolent. But the truth? No one knows. What is certain, though, is that the building isn't abandoned anymore. People walking by late at night report hearing faint knocking, whispers that seem to come from everywhere at once. And if you dare to stand too close, you might see it, your own shadow stretching toward the building, even when there's no light. They say the shadow chooses its next victim carefully, so if you ever feel your shadow isn't quite your own, don't turn around, it's already too late. This story isn't like the ones you hear at campfires or read in books. It happened, and the footage is out there, if you dare to look for it. A video, just 3 minutes long that no one can explain. But those who watch it? They say they feel something. Watching back. It started with a man. No name, no face, just his voice, posting a video of an empty house. He claimed it was abandoned, but something about the way the furniture sat perfectly still, the lights flickering on their own, made it feel like the house wasn't empty at all. The video starts like any other exploration. Cracked walls, peeling wallpaper, the faint sound of dripping water. But then, there's the static. Not from the camera, but from the air itself. You can almost hear it, like a faint hum crawling under your skin. People who've watched the footage say they felt a cold draft, even if they were sitting in a warm room. The door in the video creaks open slowly, revealing a staircase leading down. The walls are covered in scratches, deep and jagged, like something had been dragged across them. Then, there's the basement. It's always the basement. The light sways, casting strange shapes that don't seem to line up with the room. One shadow stands out, a figure in the corner that doesn't move, doesn't breathe, until it does. The figure is the part that no one can explain. When the camera jerks toward it, there's no face, just static where its head should be. And the sound, a screech so sharp it feels like it's inside your head. That's when the video ends. No explanation, no resolution. Just a few seconds of silence before it loops back to the beginning. People say strange things happen after they watch it. Lights flicker. Devices pick up static where there shouldn't be any. And some, they claim to hear breathing when they're alone. But maybe it's all just a story. Maybe it's just a video. Or maybe you've already started to hear it too. There's a building in every city that no one talks about. A place you pass by without even noticing. Not because it's hidden, but because it's meant to be forgotten. This story is about one of those places, and the people who didn't look away. It started as a dare. An online challenge, they said. Find the door at the top of the stairs. The instructions read. It seemed simple, until the first person who tried never came back. The staircase was strange. It didn't belong to the rest of the building. The walls were smooth, seamless concrete. No railings, no windows. Just the dim glow of a single, flickering light overhead, guiding you upward. The higher you climbed, the harder it became to breathe. People described a pressure, like the air itself was pushing them back. The walls were covered in marks, symbols no one could decipher. And as they climbed, the sounds began. Faint whispers at first, growing louder with each step. At the top was the door, black, plain, no handle, no keyhole. Just there. The whispers stopped when they reached it. The silence was so loud it made their ears ring. The door always opens on its own. No one knows what's behind it because the footage always cuts out when someone steps through. Every single time. The ones who came back couldn't speak. They sat in silence, staring into nothing, their eyes wide with terror. Their shadows. They weren't the same anymore. They moved differently, slower, sometimes lagging behind. Some said the shadows were watching them. The worst part? The door doesn't stay in one place. It shows up where it wants to. In stairwells, in abandoned buildings, sometimes even in people's homes. And once you've seen it, it remembers you.